Northeast Denver in general and the airport did not see the brunt of the storm, but they caught up at some point. Chris Bianchi is here to explain why, because first thing we always think about is the airport and the impact of a storm like this.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, Fort Collins, Greeley, we can kind of lump you in as well. I know a lot of questions from our friends up that way about why you got left out of this snowstorm. So let's get into some of the nerdy things here, right? Everybody likes to get a little nerdy. So I'm going to explain why. Let's have some fun with this here, folks. All right. And I promise not to make this too nerdy. So first of all, we all know that there's a pretty big gap at this point between the airport and downtown. So you might notice that little red there. Airport about 1 to 3 inches. As of last check, DIA only at 1.1 inches worth of snowfall officially for us. And you compare that to downtown, about 25 miles away, 9 inches for us. So that's a slight gap. So what led to this? Something called a barrier jet. What is that and why does that matter? Well, it matters a lot, at least if you were trying to fly in or out of Denver International Airport today, and you probably unexpectedly went, wait, my flight, it works, right? Well, Here's what happened. So we had a northeast wind. This is what's leading to our snow here. We got a wind out of the northeast, upslope flow, right? When it goes against the mountains, it's forced to go parallel. That wind is forced to go parallel to the mountains, and it creates a little narrow ribbon of just stronger wind, something we call a barrier jet. And it's essentially kind of an invisible wall, preventing some of that kind of deeper moisture from making its way into areas not affected by it. So point being that moisture was kind of souped up there in the Denver area, and that meant that this barrier jet essentially meant that a lot of those areas east of the city were shut out from the storm.
Okay, but they got plenty of rain.
Great point. So we picked up plenty of rain there, no doubt about that. We picked up a little over 1 inch of rain at the airport, but it wasn't falling heavily enough last night to pull down some of that colder air like we were able to do in downtown and throughout most of the rest of the metro area. So if that makes sense, it just didn't precipitate quite as much at the airport because of that barrier jet. And that meant that we weren't able to get quite as much in the way of that, again, pull down just enough cold air to flip that over from rain to snow in time.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's probably a good thing. They don't like to be on the national news about it. Everybody's piled up, so they got some flights out, and that's good.
That's what I think, too. I'm with you.
All right.